Who's a dumbass? Scarf's a dumbass. Welcome, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for a really quick vlog, like 10 minutes. Jinx has things she's got to do, like midterm and such. So, 10-minute vlog. Let's see what I can fit in here. Channel stuff, going as usual. Podcast, though, Jacqueline Joy. Check that one out. That was pretty good. The Dynasty Warriors giveaway. And the next podcast is going to be with Asymmetric. These are the people who made King Loathing and West of Loathing. Very funny, very interesting interview for sure. And after them is going to be a Shell in the Pit, which is going to be so good. Now, why am I'm a dumbass? So I'm at work and I use a vehicle. I had to fill it up and the pump got stuck for some weird ass reason and I got a bunch of gas on me. Really did not go well. It was silly, stupid. And I got gas on me. I go home, I wash my clothes. What I didn't think about was Googling that. So I did not only the clothes that I got soaked, but my other clothes, because it's near laundry day, so I thought I'd do it all. And it's done, and I start putting it all in the dryer. I go like, I smell gas still. What the hell? And everything smells like gas. Also, don't put anything that has gas on it in the dryer, because that will cause a fire. So yeah. So now I had to buy a bunch of. You have to soak it in vinegar, and then you have to dry it on the line. I'm doing a lot of things. I am learning a lot from a very big mistake, and that is the simple mistake of don't wash gasoline-soaked clothing. Which should have made normally, like it should have made sense, but I didn't. And so it's gonna be a fun weekend doing that. It's a lot of clothes. I have to individually soak all of them in vinegar and water, and then I have to line dry them and then wash them. Like you have to get the smell out, and then it's a whole lot of crap. It really sucks. So a lot of things want to talk about. Maybe so narrow it down a little bit. We're gonna cut off right at 10. Real quick, Olympics, holy crap, North Korea and South Korea, that's a crazy thing right there, wow. The American who didn't get to be the flag bearer, calling it racism, come on, man, it was between him and a white dude, and they flipped a coin and he lost, as simple as that. It was a vote, they were tied, I don't know why he's so mad about it, that's what happens, it's just, I don't get it, it's really weird, it's just really weird, I don't understand that one at all. Political stuff, you got Trump not releasing the Democratic memo, which is, not great. If the Republican one came out, you gotta let the Democratic one come out, but not letting that one come out it's not a good look, Logan Paul actually getting hit by YouTube, very interesting stuff there. They're actually doing some demonetization stuff, and like, don't tase dead rats, that's a thing he did, like, he's becoming more of a psychopath to push the envelope, I guess, and it's like, how about you don't do that? Like, he's got like 15 million, 16 million subscribers? He's good. He can ease up on the shock for a while, and he'll still get plenty of growth. I don't know what Logan Paul is doing. He's actively sabotaging himself, pushing the envelope right now. I don't know what's going on there. It's not like that's all his money. He's got merchandise and other things since he pushes merchandise often on his videos, but YouTube going after him does help maybe rein him in, and I would like to see him not be a psychopath. That'd be great. That'd be really good. One of the topics I wanted to talk about was vicarious shittiness. So the thing is, vicariousness is just living through other people. You see parents with their children, they live through them, they have them do achievements they could not succeed in. You have the toy channels, where it's kids reviewing toys, they're playing with toys and everything, and they get like 5 million views. It's like amazing, because it's other kids watching a kid play with a toy. That's vicariousness. That is, they can't play with the toy, but they see another kid playing with the toy, and there's a joy to that. There's a vicariousness to that. And it's the same thing with assholes. With just ridiculous people. It's the same thing with pranksters. It's the same thing with what Logan Paul does. Like, all that bullshit he did at Japan. All that stuff is hilarious to a group of people. And there's a group of people who wish they could do that stuff. They wish they could just go around and be a total asshole to people, but they can't. Because, of course, we're in society. But, like, they don't have the invincibility that Logan Paul has, so they can't do the asshole stuff he does. So vicariously through him, there you go. Same thing for the millions of kids who follow him. They wish they could do this silly crap that he does. That's vicariousness. Gaming channels are a mix of this as well. There's a vicariousness of you're playing a game that the viewer can't play, So they're seeing the game, they're seeing it be enjoyed. That's good for them. That's part of Let's Plays. Other Let's Plays is you're trying to be entertaining, like you're being funny, making jokes. That's a different other form of Let's Plays. That's a different group watching for that reason instead. Like, I watch Jesse Cox's LPs for games that I'm not going to play because I want to see the story, but also because he's funny. So it's vicariousness and wanting to see a story and someone enjoying the game, but also because he's a funny guy. That's what I see Jesse Cox for. There's vicariousness there. When I went to Vegas, I had a friend who's like, take lots of pictures and show them to me. I'm like, okay, like, fine, I'll show them a bunch of pictures. Like, they just admit they're vicarious. They, seeing someone else enjoy it gives them some enjoyment, like, because they wish they could do that kind of thing. And this is the thing we have. We wish we could be these things. I, thankfully, don't wish to be an asshole. I want to be, like, more of a hero type. I'm big fan of All Might. I'm going to be like All Might. That's a great one. Like, you see, like, Dr. House. Dr. House is an a-hole, but he gets things done. You see stuff like that. You got Trump going around here. He's just hammering people down. He's just running people over, doing what he wants to do, says what he wants to say. And that is a big group of people wishing they could do that too. A lot of people wish they could be like that. There's a lot of just a-hole characters, and people love those characters because they wish they could be that. And so it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Assholes are popular because people wish they didn't have to be restricted all the time. They wish they could break the rules. They wish they could be a jerk sometimes. And I get that, because there are times when people just make you mad, and you want to do something about it, but you can't. But it's also a thing of maturity, because if you just let it go, I think it's better, because it's not that important. Someone's just a horrible piece of crap. You don't have to react back at them. You really don't have to clap back. There's no reason for it. Anyone who's like that, it's not going to be a good way. It really isn't. At the end of the day, as big as Trump is, he gets a lot of crap at the same time, and that is, of course, hurting him. You have to be an absolute incredible monster of a person with no morality or anything to not somehow be affected by what people say. And we know Trump is definitely affected by what the news says, what a bunch of people say about him. He cares about his image. Because he's a narcissist, and narcissists, they care about what people think of them. Everyone is affected by others, but you can minimize what that does to you. Like, yesterday, I'm driving, and it's a merging lane. It's your 1-to-1, 1-to-1, 1-to-1. For some reason, this guy wanted to go 1-2, him being the second one, and then me being the one behind him. I'm like, no, that's not how it works. It's 1-to-1. So I go up and I make it 1-to-1. He, like, risking an accident there, because, like, whatever, I don't really care right now. I've got things to deal with. I got other things going on. And the guy screams out of his window, Friday. I'm like, well, that guy's gonna have a miserable life, because I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna think about that. I'm like, but that's a miserable human being. Anyone who just screams that just from a merge is not having a good life, and that's all I need. That's it. It doesn't matter anything beyond that. You don't need to necessarily care about that. Like, I've got a bleeding heart. I care about everybody and everything. But I've also learned over time that some people are just shit. And they're going to make everything around them miserable and smelly. And so you don't want to deal with that at all. Even if they're trying to mess with you, just move on. Because it's not worth getting into that. It really is not. The concept of mute and move on is huge. I don't think it's cowardly in any way. I used to think it's like, you're a coward to be black people, you're a coward to be mute people. You should be trying to talk with other people. But the realization is this, there's 7 billion people out there. A lot of us suck. A lot of us suck. And a lot of us are amazing. Spend the time on the amazing people. Don't waste any time on the crap people. Simple as that. That is the realization. But it is important to recognize that sometimes when someone's coming at you, it's worth thinking about. If anyone ever calls you an asshole, you should consider why they think you're an asshole, at least a little bit. Because did you actually do something? Or they just have a bent. And then if you just think they just have a bent, then forget it. But if you think they have some validity to it, think about it a little bit. At the end of the day, there are, like I said, billions of us. Billions of human beings. And a lot of us are shit, and a lot of us are not. I'm cursing too much. A lot of us are not crap as well. And we have our dark times, we have our bright times, things like that. Some people are just completely crap, some people are amazing. And everything in between. But we see the news, we see everything. We always see is negativity all the time. All the time. There's so much negativity in this world. Why add to it? Why not try to uplift things? Why not try to make things better? That is what I believe. I think it's more important to just bring something better to this world because it's so heavy. Lighten the load, I guess. Like, make things brighter, make things lighter. Because it's such a dark and heavy world. Why not do the opposite? And that's what we try to do here. That is what I think is what should be done. Now, there are times when I get mad, there are times when I give people crap, and I gotta work on that. I gotta work on catching myself, which I've done on occasion. I have caught myself more these days. I'm like, I'm being an ass, so I'll back up. But, because we're not perfect. No one's perfect. But trying to do that is worthwhile. Trying to do better is worthwhile always. It gets exhausting, though, right? There's so many things to deal with. There's so many causes. There's so many good things to do. And there's only so much you can do. But just do what you can. And it's good to live with that. To the knowledge of, like, I did what I could. That's not a bad thing at all. Now, unless anything changes my mind in the next week, the other topic I want to talk about is just liberalism, conservatism, and humor. Because there's always the question of, why are there no good conservative comedians? And it's because there's a fundamental difference in how comedians just see that there are conservative comedians, but there's a difference in how comedians see the world and how they go about it. And so that's something I want to talk about, and hopefully I remember to talk about it next week, because there is an overwhelming number of liberals in the creative arts, in the entertainment arts, than there are conservatives. They're still conservatives, they're there, but there's just more liberals, and there's things I really want to think about and talk about in that. It'd be a very interesting conversation to have, and we'll go over that. But very quickly, there's like 2 or 3 things just on that to touch on. One is, comedians travel all over the United States, and you see so many different viewpoints and thoughts that how can you not be just kind of more liberal than conservative? Conservative mindset is more about you and what's around you, and that's it. It's more the smaller picture, which is fine because your family's the smaller picture. It's like, it's all about your area. Liberalism is about everybody. And by traveling the world, by traveling the US, you see more of the world, which is why you see more potential towards liberalism for comedians, because they see more of the world. They see more of things. And that is something like, you kind of become not liberal, but more, you think about more than just yourself because you see so much. Whereas you're just right there more in conservatism. Now, this is oversimplifying things, but that is the general mindset of conservatism, is just keep things where they are, and it's more about me and mine. Whereas liberalism is, as you can tell from just all the rules of trying to help the poor and trying to help minorities and all that, it's all about everybody. It's about the bigger picture than the smaller picture. That's what it's about more with the liberals. And you get a sense of why that would be for comedians, because they travel everywhere. They're going to see so many different things and mindsets. They're gonna think things more in the bigger picture than the smaller picture. That's one of the main things I just want to say right now on one of my views on why there's more liberal comedians than conservative ones. And also the question of, where is the big conservative comedian compared to where you have liberals, where you got Jon Stewart, you have Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, you just have, for some people, Bill Maher. There's a lot of hilarious liberal, but not a lot on the conservative side. You can consider the rednecks like blue collar, but they don't talk about politics the same way liberals talk about politics a lot. And then there's one more, which is, just real quick, satire. Comedy is about satire by the majority, besides observation. And satire is about looking at the status quo and making fun of it and poking holes at it and knocking it over. Well, conservatives aren't really about that now, are they? So that's also part of it. But I want to get into a bigger thing about that next week. Just really want to get those thoughts out before, just in case I forget all about this next time. But there you go. That right there is the vlog. 15 minutes. But that's the vlog right there. Next week we'll see what we talk about. Lots of indie stuff can be going on. Dragon Ball story mode. We're gonna finish that in recording, but that's still gonna be on the channel for a while. But I'm gonna start there's a lot of stuff going with that. I really enjoy the game, so we're going to see a lot of that as far as streams go. But there you go, that's the vlog. I had fun for watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.